Hi everyone, this is Bruce with habowskistudio, and today's video is going to be about my second 20-minute challenge that I'm doing, 5 days. A friend of mine down in Florida suggested I try this, so I'm trying different palettes when I do each piece. My first piece was of just a little generic snow landscape sort of thing, and then I thought, well, this would be an opportunity to practice working with my nocturne idea that I want to do of painting night scenes and working out palettes I might use for that project. And this is right around the corner from where I live. This is a 20 and a half minutes. Kind of went a little bit over, but I didn't finish. This is the stage that was left in. I will finish it up because I have some good bones, but I learned a lot, and you'll see how I progress in getting this on the panel. So thanks for joining me. Also, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, check out more videos, and find me on Facebook at habowskistudio, and my website, www.habowskistudio.com. Okay? Enjoy the video. Okay, we're going to get started here. I'm going to be using titanium white. I had some Grumbacher permanent blue laying around, so I'm going to use that. Cad Yellow and Cad Red. And I have just a little, it's not a great photo of a night scene of winter, you can hardly tell. I'll try to come in a little bit, not too much, it's on Zoom, but it'll be enough just for this little 20-minute playing around study. And I thought with these 20-minute things that I would use the opportunity to play around some palettes that I might do some night paintings with. So what I'm going to do, the overall feel of the winter scene on that night, because it's in the city, so you get a lot of reflected light and so on, is a warmish tone. So I'm mixing some of the blue and red to create a purple, more red, tempering touch of yellow. And I'll pull off some of that, work a little more red into that mixture, and create a string across the palette. Alright, now I'm just going to get some color on here. I'll be using a little bit of liquid today. Haven't used that in quite a while. And just get some color on here. Then I'll pull out shapes, that sort of thing, sort of an average middle ground. Taking a pointed brush, size 2 Rosemary & Company Ultimate Round, and just going to get some of the permanent blue, touch of the red. Let me start getting a feel of some houses. There's one really important one that I want to capture. Concentrate on that first. You obviously can't get detailed. I mean, you could, but that's, again, we're working on the 20-minute challenge goal here. And you'll see, obviously, when I put some colors over, like when I try to get into the snow, you'll see what I'm going to do here to achieve that. And the picture isn't the greatest quality. I'm not really too concerned about that. That house I showed you with the window on, I don't know if it showed up in the camera or not, but that was really the focus that I want to get that little bit of light. I think that's going to be striking. And nice effect. And in this case, while I am going to wipe out other areas to create some light, that window area that I want to preserve, I want to preserve that because that's like the brightest white. There's also a hint of a light on over here, but my wipeout technique will give me enough suggestion of that. And kind of thinking about linking some shapes, shadow shapes. There's a red house over here, and of course there's a light on, what do you call it, street light that illuminates that a bit. I haven't really cleaned my brush. If I want to, I can take off a little bit of excess paint, but I'm not wasting time cleaning my brush. Plus it might make it, even if I try to get all the, what do you call it, turpentine off, could give me a little too wet of a surface. This is again really about shapes, pieces of light, that sort of thing. Initially wiping off with a paper towel, buffing out a little bit of the sky, not much. Call that good. And I've obviously, it's hard to shape a lot with the snow down there, so now I'm gonna get the road in there. A little bit of white mixed with my red and blue, touch of yellow, kind of a muddy brown. And now I can create a little perspective. Try to keep my brush out of the way, sorry. Perspective line. Dark shapes that I can use to set off. There's a building back here. Little lit tree. Just suggesting. It's looking very muddy right now. I mean, kind of just darkish. But once I get a few notes in there, we're working on 7 minutes right now. Now I'll get a little bigger brush. Going to get a little white into that red and blue mixture, a little bit of muddiness, get some liquid in there. Tickling the tree edges. And I dance around. I don't necessarily go from one effect to another. I mean, I don't finish one effect and then go to another. So I'm going to get some white, a little bit of blue. And I'm going to knock in this window. And I can clean up the edges by painting around. I'm not going to noodle too much, just one more stroke. Leave it. There's a little bit of another window over here. Not as strong. Then you have some ambient light in the room from the side window. Now I'm going to get some shapes of snow, define those more after I knock in some chimneys. I'm going a little brighter I think I might need on the snow roof here. I can always kill it down. Once I get a couple keys of that, I'll be able to judge better what's going on in relation to other color notes. It will sully a bit with the base tone I put on, but if I just get 1 or 2 strokes out, wipe a little bit, reload, I should do okay. And that little bit of mixing, I kind of like that because it gives a connection to the other colors a bit. You can see how I kind of cut around that. Trying to concentrate on, of course, the 20-minute limit I have here. So forgive me if I don't talk as much. We're at 15 minutes. I obviously doesn't look like I'm gonna finish this, but man, I picked obviously a complicated subject to do this in. I do like the idea for limiting my choices with a limited palette. Trying to really just work on the value. Nail that. Just trying to quickly knock in some bushes and such that are at the base here. Okay, I have to stop. I'm actually half a minute over. Okay, so I actually have to stop. I'm half a minute over from my 20-minute challenge here. But I can see right away that the main problem is picking a complicated subject to do in 20 minutes. But I think it turned out pretty well. Okay, this was an interesting experiment working with an urban scene for this 20-minute challenge. Yeah, I like some parts about the piece. Of course, keeping it simple, maybe with landscape elements that are real simple, would be facilitate you gathering more information about learning about color mixtures or whatever during the process of the challenge. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod here and talk about some things in the piece. So let's do that and explain a few things. Okay, so I kind of felt confident going into this. I've painted many urban paintings and such, some on site, a lot in the studio, so I was kind of used to a little being familiar with proportion and that sort of thing. Wasn't too concerned with replicating the perfect street scene, because actually there's a little, in this case would have been nice to put in, but I ran out of time. Let me get a little pointer here. I'll use back end of the brush. There's a little porch here that would have been nice with a little triangle of snow like you have on the roof here. And I'm still going to work on this and finish it up. But the test was for creating a quick sketch, and I think this is good practice for if you're outdoors and trying to capture something quickly, say a sunrise, sunset. That would be, excuse me one second, got some paint falling all over the place. That would be a very good opportunity to practice these, to have that skill set built up for when you do sunsets and such. So also I liked that I started with a general tone to create a feel of the warm sky in this night scene of winter in the city. You get a lot of reflected light and such. I would have liked to finesse that a little more with some temperature shifts in certain parts. Of course, didn't have time for that. I like how I have a little overlap here. These are two little garages. There's a house over here out of the scene, and this is the garage for that. And then this little garage is for this house. And you can't really see it because of this mound of snowbank, but there's a road that goes between this reddish house and this house. And this is just, there's a lot of bushes and such in front of this house. A little bit of a fence post, so I'll scribe that in there. I can pull out back to this orange tone with my handy dandy little tool here. Matter of fact, see if I can do that. Oh yeah, that's going to work great. Being careful to pay attention to perspective. So, nice little handy tool. I would have liked to have started on a darker surface to begin with. And probably would have started with my lights first. I don't know. You know, try different things and see. But I do like how this little bit of glow, there's a street light on the back side, on that side street here, kind of over here behind this tree, that is illuminating this house. And I think that's a nice effect against the darkness of this side of the house. So playing that up would be nice. And of course, I didn't have time to build in this dark shape of this big kind of recreational building back here. And there's a little white door area there. Would be nice to help offset this edge of this lighter colored house. But, and I'll play up a little chromatically, just a little hint in here. Let it fade out right at the strongest point under the light. And of course, working on the light post more but I kind of like the directional lines that it has. So it definitely has some bones to be finished up. You probably can't see it in the footage that I shot, or even now probably, but there's a very warm, subtle warm tone on this edge of the snow on the roof because of that street light that already has a color bias is affecting that color. And I think that's a nice effect to pay attention to. And in the foreground here, there's more street lights like over here where my hand is, and illuminating the snow in the foreground with a little more orangey-ish color. But I didn't want to put that in there and distract from this kind of area with that little interest of point of light there. And yeah, so that's pretty much all to report on this. And I want to thank you for checking out the video. Been a little slow in uploading, just that kind of season, a lot going on, so I apologize for that. I'll try to get more back in the rhythm, but I'd rather put out something I think is interesting than just pumping out videos that really don't have any content. So bear with me, and until next time, bye. Okay, this is the stage that the painting was at after the 20-minute challenge. Now I'm going to do some time lapse to try to work on it some more, probably another half hour, and show you that process. And